On the Drop Your Baggage podcast, we talk to people that are dope, that can give you hope and teach you a technique that can help you cope. With that technique, it is the mental and emotional release process. If anyone out there wants to do this mental and emotional release process that we do on the Drop Your Baggage podcast, please go to a certified practitioner of Neuro Linguistic Programming, or you can learn more about it in my short case study video at eliminatinginsecuritiesnow.com. Once again, that is eliminatinginsecuritiesnow.com, and you learn so much more about it, and you can also have the opportunity to book a session with me. Also, Kyle, I want to let you know that I'm not a psychologist or a therapist or a social worker or any of that. I'm just an alternative to those wonderful things that you can do for your mental health. All right. Just making sure you don't sue me. And today we are going to get rid of a fear of judgment. Can you tell us more about your fear of judgment?
Yeah, man. I think, as I was saying, I had amazing parents growing up. I just had a lot of pressure. Being the first generation college student, being the first business owner, being the first 6-figure earner, being the first 7-figure earner, like having all of these different things, right? And I think a lot of times if I was to get off of a plane and I was to check my bag before I got on the plane, and when we got off, we're waiting on everybody's bags. What happens is that I was taking everybody else's baggage to me to go find my Uber to go to my destination. The challenge that a lot of people face, and what I continued to face, is that I was trying to take the baggage of family, the baggage of my siblings, the baggage of cousins, the baggage of my community with me, but it wasn't fitting in the car to be able to get me to my destination. It wasn't fitting in the vehicle that can drive me to my next destination. And what happened is that I was so connected and bounded to the baggage that I would stay with the baggage and hoard the baggage instead of catching my vehicle to get me to my destination. Until years later, I learned you got to let go of the baggage so that you can get in this car, take your carry-on, get in the car so you can get to your journey, so you can get to your destination. So growing up, it was either you're the best or you're the worst. There's no B's in this household. There's no anything under a 20-point game is not enough. If you're on that track, anything in second place is not enough. That's a second place trophy. We would throw it away. If you are not the best is the expectation. So every single moment, if it's not the best, I'm judging. Is this the best that I can do? Is this the best? Is this the best woman? Is this the best talent? Is this the best opportunity? And then it's like, am I really, is this how I'm going to live the rest of my life? And then it's trickled over into every single thing.
Yeah, it's a judging of yourself, in fact.
Yeah, because what I've learned is that all of us, and anybody listening right now, we have this picture of who we want to be in the future. And that image, that model image, that perfect person, it's like I'm working towards. What was happening is that person was looking down on the person that I am now. So I had my mind so focused on that person, that this person that I'm currently am, all these accomplishments, it wasn't good enough because I'm not that person. So I was not comparing myself to the world or anybody on social media. I was comparing myself to a person that wasn't even created yet in my mind, that I hadn't even got to yet. And then it was creating all of these false senses of judgment.
Yeah. So do you have an imposter syndrome at all so sometimes of course you have all these wonderful things that you've done, but does it seem like there's just so much more that you just haven't reached that fullest potential as of yet, which you haven't, but it's not a satisfaction that comes with it?
It's not, $20,000 months, $200,000 months, this car, that person, this relation, it just doesn't, it never does. Yeah. And that's the problem, until I've gotten around people that's told me and communicated, you got to celebrate these small wins. You got to celebrate these smaller wins. You have to operate from a sense of gratitude and gratefulness, so that those small things that you think are small are freaking huge to someone else. I remember having a conversation about the revenue that we made one month, and I was disappointed. And somebody looked at me and they were like, if I made that, I would have been able to keep my wife and my family in that house. And I was like, what do you mean? They was like, we lost our house because we were short $3,000. And I was complaining that month that we made 30. So when I started to see and be like, and empathize with, wow, I was like, nah, something has to change.
It's real talk. It's real talk. The weight must be heavy on you. How does it, like, what is the feeling? What is the feeling of having that negative voice in your mind and having the weight of your parents and yourself just always like digging into your subconscious and making you feel like this
It's a
nothing's not enough?
challenge, it's one of the things, and I appreciate you even asking this on this podcast, because a lot of shows that I come on, it's all about strategy, right? Instead of really taking time to understand the actual individual and understanding the person. So what I've learned is that it is challenging. It's one of the things that I'm continuing to work on. I'm continuing to get better with as well. But it's one of those things that it's one of those things that I have to be the best that I can be, so that I can be able to serve other people to the best of their abilities as well.
Amen. Amen.
But I'm not going to let the pressures of the world stop me from being able to perform to the highest of my abilities.
Of course not. Yeah, that it's not it. It's not within you at all. I got a kind of a difficult, potentially difficult question. How much do you pull back? Not pull back, but how much do you try to not do the same thing that your father did for you for your son?
That's a great question. I was telling us, so I tell you the story. I was on the basketball court with my son. This was a few months ago, and we were working on dribbling drills. And mind you, he's 5 years old, and I was so hard on him, and he started crying, and I made him run a lap because he was crying, and he was crying the whole lap. And then I made him run another lap because he was still crying. And then I looked at him after, and then I had a conversation with him because we have such an amazing relationship. And I was like, he was like, Dad, I don't want to play basketball anymore. I was like, why? And he was like, you were too hard on me. At that very moment, it clicked for me. I was like, I'm recreating something that I experienced. And I felt awful for like 2 or 3 days. And I remember when he played in his next basketball game, the only thing that I told him, I was like, you know what you need to do today? He was like, when? I was like, no, I just want you to have fun. And his face lit up, and he had the best possible game yet. And after that, it was a completely different experience. And I was like, I cannot recreate this pressure at 5 because I was so pressured at 5. And it recreated, and I reimagined who I wanted to be as a man, who I wanted to be as a father. And but I think I've set a good enough foundation on the front end to be able to have him communicate what he needs or what he feels. So it's a beautiful thing that we've been able to share that moment. And I truly believe that every moment that we share, every moment that we have, I grow. And so many times parents think that we're supposed to teach our kids and grow our kids and empower our kids. But I truly believe the best teacher has been my son. My best mentor is my 5-year-old, because he teaches me more about life, about love, about relationships, about business, about empathy, about integrity, about character, about values than anything has ever been able to teach me. So that one moment shifted everything for me, so that I can be the best man and the best father that I can be.
Wow. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for being vulnerable with us about that. And that's it's kind of, I mean, it could have been hard to talk about because it's like, we all want to seem like immortals, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but to talk about something that hits so close to the chest, I really appreciate it, and I honor you for that. For sure. And it makes it that much more amazing of a blessing for both of us to go ahead and release this fear of judgment. So let's do it. So with the mental and emotional release process that I just love and have dedicated my life to, there's only 3 things that you need to do. Number 1, you need to use your imagination. Number 2, you need to follow directions just like you follow a recipe. And number 3 is to trust the process. Know that I'm your guide and I'm going to be leading you through this easily and effortlessly.
Let's do it.
Awesome. Now, with your time, we got to create an imaginary timeline. With your timeline, your past can be to your left, to your right, or behind you. If you were to know, where is your past?
Behind me.
Where's your future?
in front of me.
Perfect. That's awesome. Very linear, just like mine. And that's it. So we're gonna be focusing. I'll let you know everything. No worries. Is it all right with your unconscious mind for you to release this fear of judgment today and for you to be aware of it consciously?
Mhm.
Awesome. What is the root cause of this problem? The first event, which when disconnected, that will cause this problem to disappear. If you were to know, when was the first time that you felt that fear of judgment? When you were just a little boy?
I really don't know.
Mm.
Um,
Let's go back. Let's go to kindergarten. Where did you live during while you were in kindergarten? Where did you live?
Kindergarten, I was in Grayson, Georgia.
Do you?
I really think so. My first moment of, I feel like, of judgment that I can even recall
Yeah.
is as an athlete. So my father, he made a point. He was our basketball coach, and he made a point of not starting me
Mm.
until I earned it.
Mm.
And when I finally felt like I earned it, I was always judged by my teammates that I was the only reason that I was starting is because I was the coach's son.
Boom.
And I think everything began there because I never felt like I deserved to be on the court because the kids didn't think I deserved it.
Yeah.
I only felt like my dad was doing it because I was his son and my mom was pushing him. And then the parents in the stands, they felt the same way. So I think because of that, it drove me and it created a toxic sense of hard work to be the best.
Yeah.
So that I can prove other people wrong instead of just being the best for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. How old were you?
Ooh, about 8 or 9.
Perfect. That's a great age for it. Awesome. You can go. This is a systematic. The mental and emotional release is a systematic guided meditation. So you can go ahead and close your eyes and relax, and let me know when you're ready for the process to drop your baggage.
I'm ready.
All right. Go ahead and keep your eyes closed. All right. Now, once again, just use your imagination, follow directions just like you follow a recipe, and trust the process. Here we go. Now, just imagine floating outside of your body as if though you were a spirit or energy. And just imagine seeing yourself from a third person point of view. Hover above yourself and see everything around you. See the black doors behind you, the door to your right. If there's a window, see that. See the fan above your head, your blue shirt, the screen above you, the white chair that you're sitting in, the white walls. What color is the floor? Right? Now, let me know when you can see yourself in the whole event, that whole room from a third person point of view.
I see it.
Awesome. Now, just imagine floating up above your timeline and float deeper and deeper and deeper into the past. Above that first event in which you felt that fear of judgment when you were just a little kid on the basketball court, see your teammates and your father and everyone that's there. Let me know when you can see that whole event.
I see it.
All right. Now stay right there. Stay right there in that position, being the observer of the whole event. And now just ask your unconscious mind what it needs to learn from the event, the learning of which will allow you to let go of the emotions easily and effortlessly. Your unconscious mind can preserve the learnings so that if you need them in the future, they'll be there. Just tell your unconscious mind to preserve the learnings. This is an exercise of forgiveness and acceptance. Forgiveness for yourself and others, and acceptance of yourself and others. Who do you need to forgive? What do you need to accept? Who do you need to accept? Focus your attention upon how hurt people hurt people. We're all doing the best that we can with the resources and consciousness that we have. We can't control anyone else's actions, but we can control our response. We can grow stronger and wiser and learn from people's mistakes and actions. Other people's actions have nothing to do with you. It's only a reflection of their baggage and what they're going through at the time. And we're better people than we were when those events occurred. You're a better person than you were when those events occurred. Very importantly, what is something positive and empowering that you can tell yourself as that little boy, your teammates, and everyone else, including your father, everyone else involved in the event, with the consciousness that you have today that will allow the emotions to evaporate like water on the concrete on a hot summer day? And as you preserve these learnings, the emotions are starting to dissipate more and more until they're all gone. Just let me know when they're all gone.
They're all gone.
Awesome. Now, what did you learn from that event? As you're the observer with your eyes closed, what did you learn from that event?
That they were proud of me.
That's right. Now, looking at that event from a third person point of view, what learning can you take with you into the future that can make you a better person from that event?
And you don't really know what people feel. And if we continue to remain optimistic and control our mind to think things to be positive, then we'll be able to create that reality versus us internally believing that we're not good enough or we're not worthy or other people are talking negatively about us. We have the choice and the decision to recreate a positive outcome and recreate a positive vision for ourselves.
That's right. That's right. Awesome. Now, just imagine floating up above your timeline and float deeper and deeper and deeper into the past, above the dinosaurs during the prehistoric age. Let me know when you're above the dinosaurs.
I'm there.
Okay. Now, as you're above the dinosaurs, float deeper and deeper and deeper into space, to where space and the atmosphere connects. And imagine your timeline is the size of a fingernail. Let me know when you're there.
I'm there.
Now, just imagine floating there, weightless, in space. And ask yourself, now, where are the emotions? Tell me, are they there or have they disappeared? Now.
I don't see them.
Awesome. Now, just imagine floating down inside the event, seeing through your own eyes as a little kid and check on the emotions. Tell me, are they there or have they disappeared? Now.
They've disappeared.
Awesome. Float back above the dinosaurs and then float into space to where space and the atmosphere connects. Let me know when you're there.
I'm here.
Okay, listen closely. Float very, very high above your timeline, above each and every event in which you feel that charge of a fear of judgment from birth until now in chronological order. Don't skip one event that has a charge on it. Preserve the learnings and let go of that fear of judgment all the way back to now. Go. Just like you did with that first event. Hover above each and every event in which you felt that fear of judgment from birth until now in chronological order. And just like you did with that first event, release those emotions by preserving the true learnings, by being compassionate and accepting and forgiving and empowering for yourself and everyone else involved in the event.
It's all gone.
You went over every single event?
I did.
You didn't rush through it, did you?
Mm-mm.
Awesome. Flow down into your body and open your eyes when you're ready. Yeah. Welcome back.
Solid.
Yeah. Very. How do you feel?
Good. Relaxed.
Yeah.
Relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
Relax. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Now let's go ahead and test everything out. Now, can you first of all, do you smell bacon?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's just to get you in a different state away from that medication.
Am I
Like,
supposed
am I
to?
supposed to? Exactly. Can you remember a time in the past in which you used to feel that old emotion? And go back and notice if you can feel it, or you may find that you cannot.
No.
Awesome. Now
Mm.
I want you to imagine going out into the future, an unspecified time in the future, in which, if the same thing would have happened in the past, you would have felt the fear of judgment. But it's the future now. So see if you can find that old emotion, or you may find that you cannot.
No.
Congratulations, you just released a bunch of fear.
I like it. I like it. This is solid, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is solid.
A lot of people out there have not experienced mental and emotional release as of yet. Tell us about your experience, about what you just went through, and about the feeling that you have now, please.
Definitely an amazing experience. Went through a process to being able to remove my fear of judgment
Mm-hmm.
by really going back to those moments, going back to not just the moments as a whole, but the first moment that we can remember, and then working our way forward while working our way backwards to being able to remove everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting, even as I look backwards right now or look forward, I don't feel that fear of judgment or that fear at all. So it's a beautiful thing. It's transformational because now, as an entrepreneur, as a father, and as just a human being, I can now operate from a place of fearlessness.
That is way to go. I love it. I love it. So, like, what were some of the main learnings that you got throughout your timeline?
Yeah, that you're good enough to not worry about the thoughts, the feelings, or the judgments of other people. To remain positive, to create the vision that you envision by remaining kind and loving, that God has your back and God sees you. And that's the only person that you need to really be being able to acknowledge or award you with anything.
Wow, you processed a lot in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, man.
How many memories did you go to? Because every single memory is like a breakthrough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
About 6 or 7, actually.
Wow, in that short amount of time. So
Yeah.
why did it just click so easily for you then?
Because all of them, so the one moment was a trigger. And then I can see the different other moments and how they all kind of connected. So when you cut the cord of one, you're able to cut the cord of them all.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a domino effect.
Exactly.
You break down that one, and then all of them just fall in order.
Yes.
That's so awesome.
Um,
Did you feel a visceral feeling? Like, how do you feel now compared to how you felt before?
I feel free.
Mm,
I feel relaxed.
mm, mm.
Yeah. Versus a sense of like heaviness as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's awesome. That's very
So,
cool. The wow, wow. You just went on beast mode with that. I've never had anybody finish it that fast. That was pretty cool.
yeah. Man. Yeah.
Um, where do you see your life going now without that fear of judgment?
Well, I'm getting ready to open up. Can I put my phone on the
Oh,
charger?
yeah, yeah, go for it.
Okay. So I'm getting ready to open up a affordable housing community, 50 affordable housing homes made out of container homes. And one of the biggest feelings that I felt has been judgment and fear, and if I'm good enough, if I'm gonna be judged. And now I'm ready to rock out. I'm ready to rock out.
It's crazy because with high achieving individuals like yourself, once you get rid of
That
the
one thing.
that one thing, it just people don't think about like, oh, I feel like I'm just like most people are like, I just feel so awesome. I feel weightless. People like yourself are like, I'm ready to get stuff done.
We
Like
about to
there's no more barriers in my own way anymore. It's like full speed ahead now, you know?
really, we about to turn it up now.
That's awesome.
We
That's
about to turn
awesome.
it up.
So like what did you learn about your father?
That he just loved me and he really did believe that I deserved to be on that court.
Yeah. Yeah. What about everything else throughout your life? Because it was of course that one event, but like, what
Yeah,
about
yeah,
everything
yeah.
else?
So then no one ever really saw me as inadequate.
Mm,
No one ever saw me as not good enough. They actually saw me as somebody that they wanted to be like. And I took it as a negative trait, whereas they saw it as like, hey, we want to learn from him.
mm-hmm.
We want to be able to learn from this person. And we want to be able to mirror our lives like that person.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Like, are you experiencing a lack of, not a lack, like the negative chatter that went on in your mind before? Like, is it something different in your
Yeah,
mindset
it's like
now?
I'm trying to think of it, but I really can't. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like it's a sense of just clearness.
Clarity. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome,
Definitely.
man. Congratulations, man. You just
I
released a bunch of
appreciate you.
beer. Yeah. I told
That's
you I was going
dope.
to be a blessing today. I told you.
No, definitely.
Hey, just thank you. Thank you so much once again for showing up for your divine appointment. I know it's late there, so I will go ahead and wrap this up. But before we wrap this up, one more word of wisdom, man. You've given us so many different nuggets and inspired the heck out of me. I just might watch this instead of ET. You know what I mean? But like, please, one more word of wisdom before we get up out of here.
If you don't do it, who will? If I had 60 seconds to share anything with the world, I would say that somebody committed suicide today. Somebody went back to a domestic violence filled home. Somebody's father or mother has a drug addiction and continues to abuse them. Somebody's going back to an unhappy marriage because they don't have resources or accountability. Somebody is financially going through a tough time and just got evicted. There's somebody listening right now that has the keys, that has the education, that has the experience, that has already overcome what all of those people have experienced. And the moment that you stop being selfish and waiting for the perfect time, you'll be able to share your process and give power to another individual. You wanted to commit suicide and you didn't. Help that person that does. You were depressed at one point, but you got through it. Help the people that are depressed. You were financially, you were in a tough place and you were getting ready to be evicted, but you got financially stable and secure. Go help somebody. You made it out of a domestic violent home. Go help somebody. You had parents that were drug abusers. Go help somebody. You grew up as an alcoholic. Go help somebody. If I could leave one word of wisdom, the experience that brought you pain, that you overcame, you want to be able to take that pain, create a process, and go give it to somebody else so that you can create power in your community.
Amen. Wow. Powerful words. Thank you so much, Kyle. Thank you.
Sure.
And thank you all out there for your attention and your support. I truly love you all. You guys, I hope you guys truly know that. If you're on Facebook or YouTube or any podcast platform, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button. If you're on any podcast platform, give a brother 5 stars and some feedback. And yeah, just you guys take care of yourselves out there and take care of one another. Peace.